Hey, Writing One, it's Miss Smith. Um, Hopefully this is the third video you've watched, so you should have watched the intro video. It says e-learning with Miss Smith. Then you should have watched the daily update video specifically for today, March 30th. And then this is the third video. So this is just for you guys, just for Writing One. So this is only going to happen once a week. So make sure you check in. Again, check in your EDSB, just a reminder, EDSB every single day because there's always going to be something new, if not by me, by one of your other teachers, and we need to take attendance. We need to know that you are still there. We want to make sure you're still learning and still moving on so that we can get you to 10th grade. So this is really crucial. So make sure you log into EDSB every single day, okay? Make sure you comment. At least I like to see it when you comment. You guys like to talk in class anyway, so this is a good time you can comment. So go right ahead. All right, so for Writing One for this week, so you're gonna have basically one assignment a week that you're gonna have to complete. So just a reminder, so we are actually gonna have a Zoom meeting. So again, go back to EDSB. You'll have this assignment will be on EDSB. There'll be a link to it so you can complete it online, as well as there'll be a link for the meeting. So we're going to have basically like an online class. So you're going to come to class, you're going to show up, and I get to see all your beautiful faces, and I get to hear your voices again, and you can ask all the questions, and there's a whole chat feature, and we'll make it work. So that way you can ask your questions and you can kind of connect, and just so we don't completely lose touch. So that meeting for you guys for Writing One will be this Wednesday. So in 2 days, Wednesday at noon. So maybe you're like, Miss Smith, that's when I eat lunch. Great, go grab your sandwich, come and eat it. I'll have my Lunchable with you guys, okay? No joke, probably, okay? I love Lunchables. So anyway, show up on Wednesday. We'll hang out, we'll have lunch, we'll just connect, and we'll see it. And you can ask all your questions or whatever else you want to do, even if you just want to say hi, okay? So 2 things, there'll be an assignment we'll talk about in a minute, and then I'll see you guys on Wednesday at noon, okay? So first things first, your assignment. So you guys know we do these lovely little Common Lit assignments all the time, right? Common Lit, okay? So there is actually, we get these from a website, as you can tell. And on that website, there's a whole way that you can do it all online. And so that's how we're going to do it a lot for this class. So you're going to, you'll probably get this in, honestly, some of your other English classes as well, maybe even some social studies classes. So basically they'll send you through EDSB and Clever. That's the other login thing where you can actually go through and actually read this online. So instead of having a piece of paper, you can actually read it online. There's even ways you can annotate it and take notes and everything. And there's all those little footnotes, like what is the word in this one, for example, what does the word rigorous mean? So do you know what the word rigorous means? Maybe you don't. Well, the word rigorous means very difficult, challenging, or demanding. So some people probably think e-learning, for example, is very rigorous. It is kind of demanding. It's challenging. Okay, so we learn together. Just because it's challenging doesn't mean you don't do it. So anyway, this particular one I'm asking you about is failure. That's right. But failure can actually be a really good thing. So how many of you guys, think about your life now, how many of you guys have not done something well and it's just gone terrible? I mean, think about that. I can't tell you how many times I really thought I worked really hard at something and it just did not work out, right? But what I learned is I learned how not to do things. I learned from my mistakes. I learned from my failure so that when I was faced with a chance to do it again, I didn't fail. I actually succeeded. Or maybe I learned how to do something a different way, or I learned how to problem solve, or I learned something from it. So failure is actually a really good thing. I know that sometimes, in school, we're so used to, oh my gosh, failure, oh, terrible. And we probably we start adding that as a label to ourselves. Like we start saying, I'm a failure. Well, that's not true. We fail at things all the time. I mean, think about this. The reason we're in this crisis is because people failed to pay attention to warnings. They failed to do what they were supposed to do. It doesn't make them failures. It just means that they made mistakes. I mean, you and I make mistakes every single day. I made a whole ton of mistakes. I mean, I was uploading one of these videos only to find out I never actually had it on like unmute, and I had to re-record the whole video. So not this one, another one. So that was a huge failure. I was not a failure, but the video failed. So I learned from my mistake and I found out where that button is. And now let me tell you, every time I press record, I make sure it's unmute. So just think about that when you're reading through this article. The idea is how can we learn from failure and why is it good for you? So think about the time that you have failed, let's be honest, and then you've learned that you've done something better or you've done something newer, and that's okay. We want to learn from our failure, because if we just stick there in our failure, we have that label, we allow that label to attach to ourselves. So then we do become failures, because we're like, well, I'm a failure, I've done nothing right, and I will not do anything. So guess what? You don't succeed, you don't do what you want to do, you don't go to college, you don't get that career, you don't get to 10th grade. So failure is a good thing. You are not a failure. We can learn from it. We can succeed. We can try harder. We can do something interesting. So the article is really good. It's about basically how do we learn from that as high school students? How do we learn from that? And what does failure mean for us as we prepare for adulthood, as we prepare for things like college and a career? So you're going to read through the article. Okay, short little article. It's 1.5 pages. All right. And then online, you're going to do the questions. You guys know how to do these, the text-dependent questions. See? All right, I think that's reversed, but whatever. And then you're going to go through, and one of the questions, it has a whole essay. So you write a little short paragraph. You guys know how to do this. And then there's discussion questions. I want you to start thinking about these discussion questions on that last page. So the brainstorming is essentially the difference between perfection and just striving for right. You know, I want you to start thinking about that. So when we meet on Wednesday at noon, we're going to have this discussion about things, about the idea of perfection, about the idea of failure, what you can learn from it, what does that mean for us, and what does that mean for you. So I want you to come and ready to discuss what we read. So you'll probably want to read this today, and you can actually go ahead and finish it, submit it right through Common Lit. As soon as you press that submit button and you take all of that quiz and you go through all that, it goes directly to me, so I can go ahead and grade it right away. So guess what? 25 points right for you if you finish it all and it looks really good, okay? If you have any questions, Edsby, absolutely, or save it for Wednesday, okay? At Wednesday at noon, you and I will have lunch, we'll hang out, answer all your questions, we'll go ahead and talk about this. So you'll probably want to read it again on Wednesday. So Wednesday morning before you come and chat with us, okay? So if you have any questions at all, come and talk to me, okay? I'll be available for you guys. I miss you guys. It's gonna be the way it is, but we're doing what we can. So I will see you guys on Wednesday. And again, if you have any questions at all, you let me know. I am available on Edsby, and I'll talk to you then, okay? Bye, sweeties. Wash your hands. Bye.